ever noticed chess players scribbling during a match? In official tournaments, they're required to write down every move. But why? Because that move list becomes the official record, crucial for analyzing the game and settling disputes. It's a skill every serious player must master. So let's break down how chess notation actually works. Here's what a typical score sheet looks like. Before the game starts, players fill in some basic details like names, event, date, and board number. The numbers along the side show the move number. One column is for white's moves, and the other is for black's. And if your game goes long and fills up the sheet, no problem. Just ask the arbiter for another one. A standard chessboard has 8 columns and 8 rows. That's 64 squares in total. The columns are called files and are labeled with letters from A to H. For example, this one here is the B file. The rows are called ranks, numbered from 1 to 8. So this row, that's the 3rd rank. Each square on the chessboard has a unique name made by combining its file and rank. In simple terms, square name equals file letter plus rank number. For example, this square right here is called F4. In chess notation, each piece except the pawn is represented by an uppercase letter. For English speakers, that's K for king, Q for queen, R for rook, B for bishop, and N for knight. Other languages may use different letters, but the idea stays the same. Writing a chess move is simple. Just use the piece letter followed by the square it moves to. For example, NF3 means the knight moved to F3. For pawn moves, a letter indicating pawn is not used. Only the destination square is given. For example, C5, pawn moves to C5. When a piece captures another, you add an X before the destination square. For example, BXE5, the bishop captures on E5. For pawns, we show the file it came from. So EXD5 means a pawn from the E file captures on D5. Now for something special, en passant. In this case, we still write the file, add X, and the destination square, like EXD6, and you can add EP to show it was an en passant capture. Sometimes 2 or more identical pieces can move to the same square, so we need to disambiguate which one actually moved. Here's how it works. First, try using the file it came from. If the files are the same, use the rank. If that still doesn't clear it up, use both. For example, if both black rooks can move to F8 and it's the one from D8, you write RDF8. If 2 white rooks on the A file can go to A3, use the rank, R1A3. And if even that isn't enough, like multiple queens could move to E1, use the full square, QH4E1. When a pawn reaches the 8th rank, it can promote, usually to a queen. To show this in notation, you just add the new piece at the end. For example, a pawn moving to E8 and promoting to a queen can be written as E8 equals Q. Castling is indicated by the special notation 0-0 for kingside castling and 0-0-0 for queenside castling. O-O and OOO, letter O rather than digit 0, are also commonly used. When a move puts the opponent's king in check, you just add a plus at the end of the move. Example, NF3 plus means the knight moved to F3 and gave a check. When a move ends the game with checkmate, you mark it with a hashtag at the end. For example, QH8 hashtag. The queen moves to H8 and delivers checkmate. If a player offers a draw, they write an equal sign after their move on the score sheet. If the opponent accepts, they write equals 2. If they decline, they just make the next move. No symbol needed. At the end of the game, the result is recorded in the score sheet. 1-0 if white wins, 0-1 if black wins, half-half if the game ends in a draw. This is the official way results are marked in tournaments. At Soldier Chess, we're just getting started with powerful content to help you level up your game. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe and stay connected for more.